Good morning, everyone. What is the resistance to just being? What is the pull that seems to take us away from that? Is there a sense that something is being overlooked or neglected, avoided, not given value? Is it the idea that there's something very important in the mind that needs to be attended to? Is it this idea of ego that doesn't want to relent, lose its own status, its own dominance as the center, the locus of attention? Is there, as is with many people with traumatic backgrounds or PTSD, those movements, when they appear, are very powerful and demand a lot of attention, and rightfully so. So is there like a sense of loss if I'm not attending to the movements of the mind, the story of myself? Is there a feeling of losing something there? Can even maybe be a feeling of sadness, like losing a friend or losing a loved one or something. Or losing myself. Those are all very valid things that I just mentioned. There are things in the human experience, trauma and PTSD and all those things, that can be benefited by attention to them, by modalities to help in some way give some peace, some relief, to alleviate that pressure to somewhat of an extent anyway, or maybe largely. And so in that case, just being on holiday can seem trite in a way, and as if you are ignoring something important or not dealing with something or denying something. And that can be the case, perhaps. But other than severe trauma or PTSD that is extremely compelling, everyone has things in their lives that are challenging or even traumatic. Everyone. No one goes through life unscathed. So, leaving aside the extremes for now, for someone who wants to come to know peace and freedom, living freedom is a very powerful means, no question about it. And if there's a sense of loss, like I'm losing something or neglecting something, and again, if it's not something very extreme, if there's a sense of loss or I'm neglecting something, then have a look. Is what I seem to be neglecting really so important? Is the sense of loss just that personal movement of ego recognizing that it's doomed, basically. Ego, the personal self, what I am, what I've thought myself to be my whole life, is kind of like my best friend. To be ready and willing to be what you are prior to that can seem like losing a friend in a way, for some people. Because ego is like your doppelganger, isn't it? It's the image of yourself in form, closer than a twin, closer than an identical twin. It seems to be you. And so living free of that is like losing yourself. Or it can be, anyway. We have this idea that we should not ignore or bypass or deny. We have to attend to it. So, and again, as I said, for, people with extreme trauma or PTSD, of course, ignoring isn't going to do anything. It's not going to help. Although I've worked with people with severe trauma who have been benefited greatly by this work. So there's no one way. But for the most of us, whatever level of psychological confusion is there, we can attend to that which is prior to that, of course. But we find ourselves to be very compelled or interested with the movements of mind, very habitual, deeply ingrained. So, no fault. Which is why, as simple as this work is, as simple as this message is, as simple as the recognition itself is, it's not trivial to actually live this. One needs to be devoted, really devoted to their own freedom, their own contentment and peace, more than they're devoted to the movements of personal self as mind. I want to present what I know to be or consider to be the highest potential, and for those who resonate and are ready to live that more and more. And I don't at the same time deny that other modalities can be needed or necessary for some people. And even after having a recognition, as I share, even if it's very clear, and even if it's doubtless, still if there are some things that need to be straightened out, okay, then do that, of course. But if it's not so strong as to be debilitating, then I say, take yourself seriously and live freedom. And I say, if you're ready to live freedom, then do that for sure. Do it, Just notice, as always, in your own laboratory, this body-mind, which is your laboratory, just notice the interest in the movements of mind, the movements of personal self, the movements of personal story, the movements of time, past and future. Just notice those movements and the interest in attending to those. That's all. Not a judgment. Simply notice. That's all. And when you notice, come out into the sun of pure being and simply be here, free of it. Free of the personal self, free of the story of me, free of the past and future story of me, free of, even the traumas, and just be. It's good to be with you. I'll be back again tomorrow. Peace.